Well, I don't know about you, but I loved Gore when I was a kid. This band, crazy costumes they dressed up and really bizarre lyrics, really fun. And any chance to use them in my memory practice is amazing. This is Anthony Metivier from magneticmemorymethod.com. Welcome to day 12 of the Chinese phrase mnemonic challenge. I'm so delighted that you're here. If you've been following along, we've had crazy images like this, and you'll see there's some recurring figures. We've had Patrick Swayze as a figure here 3 times now, but we're moving on. And we've got Gore. You know, Swayze's going to come up again. But and that's the beauty of it, is once you encode these dudes once and you associate them with a sound and a meaning, then you can reconfigure them into sentences and use them again and again. So we saw day 8, I believe, a little memory test for me. We saw Lou Ferrigno in a phrase, the very, very useful phrase that you might want to know. And so go back to day 8 and learn that one, and these images will help. And, you know, it's just really, really great to just have stock images, because the more you learn Chinese, the more you'll speak Chinese, and then you'll be able to ask people, you know, like Chong Wen, blah, 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 Zemo Shua, or like, how do you say whatever in Chinese? And then they'll tell you, and you will be so much faster because you'll have images that you've already created in advance. So let's go ahead and see what's going on with these images, because I want to help you understand mnemonics at a much higher level. And in fact, I have a number of missions. I want to share my mnemonics with Chinese phrases with you, and I want to also share how and why these images work, what makes them so impactful in the memory. If you haven't been watching the series so far, go back. You're going to pick up multiple points that are going to help you in a great way if you're interested in using mnemonics. And, you know, I want to inspire your imagination and memory. I'm a promoter of these memory techniques. It's what I do. It's my job in the world. And if I can get you to just give this a try, it'll be so amazing. And if you haven't been to magneticmemorymethod.com, you will see every attempt in the world has been made to excite you about these techniques from every possible angle that I can imagine, and I haven't even scratched the surface. So this is a lifetime project. And then of course I want to win you as a lifelong subscriber. So if you're not subscribed to this channel, just hit that little subscribe button there and hit the bell, because sometimes I do magnetic memory live sessions and you'll miss them if you don't click that bell, because you won't be notified. And while you're here, why not hit that click that like button, because that lets me know that you enjoy this material and it helps me continue helping you. And of course, you can always leave a discussion comment if you like. So let's throw the pinion on here and see what's going on. We've got the Karate Kid, who you already know, and you already know the yeoman from Star Trek. You know Chewbacca, of course. And if you don't know Gore, well, you know, it's not a one-to-one correspondence to the exact sound that you need to be making here. And in fact, there's actually 2 separate tones. You'll notice that we got 4th tone and 2nd tone. There's a way to remember that. And when you hear native speakers, you'll notice that there's like a little pause between these 2, and they are sounded differently. Now, you might be wondering about the Joker, and how does the Joker help get this sound going? Well, you know, he always, and it's not a one-to-one correspondence. And again, as I point out in these videos, please don't see me as your Chinese pronunciation teacher. I'm trying to give you the basis for getting this into memory so that you can practice pronunciation, and you practice pronunciation a lot better if it's coming out of memory than if you're constantly looking at a piece of paper or looking at a digital screen or whatever. So if you remember, if you ever saw any of the well, just this movie in particular, actually, The Dark Knight, he says, "Why so serious?" Right? So that, for me, is a really, really great way to remember that. And because all of this is happening in a sequence here, the Karate Kid is pushing Chewbacca and kicking past the yeoman here. So we got Ni Yo Chu, and then Guo guo, why Lu Yo Ma, right? And now you'll notice that sometimes I have Shania Twain when it's Shen Ma, but when it's just the question particle, I actually use the character itself because it looks so much like a horse anyway. And it's good practice with the simpler ones to start thinking about burning these images into your mind. And there's no quick fix, there's no silver bullet to it, but you just want to get started as soon as you can. And so that's what you'll see in some of these videos. The actual characters are here, and there's a video coming up where we're actually going to use a non-Chinese character. Well, I guess it's shared, a shared character that is going to be really useful. So stay tuned for future videos for that. But the whole point is that we want to make this a domino sequence, and there's a way to remember what all these correct tones are that I'll tell you about in just a second. But when you get this force going and you can recall all these images, you're able to learn a sentence really, really quickly. And this is quite a simple one, actually. And it just means you have been abroad, travel, question, particle. So that means in English, have you traveled abroad? Have you ever traveled abroad, really? And one of the things that's going on here is that when Lou Ferrigno is helping, and I say helping, but there's actually something that I can't really share going on in my imagery. But in any case, the whole point of Lou Ferrigno here with the yeoman from Star Trek, which helps remember this Lou Yo, is that there's a travel theme going on here. And it's not politically correct, but there's also something else going on, which I'll leave for you to guess for yourself, because it's a puzzle and a mystery how that our brains work. And if you go for things that are not politically correct, you'll find that they're much more memorable. And this is a family-friendly channel, so I won't go into all these things that are going on. But if you're a parent and you're teaching this to children, these techniques, then you want to be aware that for adults anyway, we tend to need more radical imagery, let's say, and kids maybe less so. But keep in mind that if they are struggling and these techniques aren't working, that you can add a bit of force and a little bit of acceptable lewdness within your comfort zone in order to make things more memorable. And so I've restricted a lot of that information in these videos, but it is useful, and the great mnemonics all talk about it, and meditation helps. No, it's not so dire. But it is a useful point that I want to point out, that there are things that make this more memorable and are a great way to explore parts of your imagination that may have gone dormant. So please be sure to check that out and come back for our next video, when we will go through something equally interesting and something equally valuable to memorize, because this is a really cool question to be able to ask native speakers if you're learning Chinese. And so if you'd like to have native Chinese speakers on autopilot, I highly recommend coming and checking this out. It's called the Real Spoken Chinese Vault, and I got a special offer for you. So if you like special offers, just don't walk but run to magneticmemorymethod.com/YT Chinese, and you'll be able to get beginner, elementary, intermediate questions from native speakers and answers. And so you just click on the questions, and they will repeat to your heart's content as many times as you like the correct pronunciation from different speakers from different regions of China. And then you get all unique answers from even more speakers. So there's just tons and tons of people to hear from. And the benefit is like, unlike a textbook, with this bizarre studio speech that no one ever uses in real life, you get real speech from real people, and it's exciting to listen to them and to interact with them. You feel like you're interacting with them. They're really well shot. And speaking of interaction, when you use my link, you get an extra bonus in the form of the Magnetic Memory Method Chinese Vault bonus secret group. And there's some extraordinary things going on in there. Robert Huggins has shared some incredible experiences using the magnetic memory method that I've enjoyed and learned from, actually, myself, and been inspired by. And also, I'm going to get you a password to the how to use the Real Spoken Chinese Vault with the magnetic memory method, which will show you how to use a memory palace in conjunction with these images, how to lay them out, and more than just lay them out, how to do it using something called the pillar technique. So it's a little bit advanced, but you're going to want to save it, and you're going to want to have access to this for when you're ready, which is the tutorial on memorizing Chinese poetry using a memory palace. And then I want you to have a tool for remembering the tones. And so that's the Magnetic Memory Method Chinese Tone Control bonus. And to help make sure that you have your thinking in order and that you're always inspired, I've got the ultimate language learning secret for you. And this is practical tips with inspiration to help you proceed along towards mastering the art of language learning. And so if you'd be interested in all of that, then I would love for you to join us in the Real Chinese Vault. And it's just amazing to hear the Spoken Chinese Vault. It's spoken Chinese. It's not real spoken Chinese. It's real spoken Chinese, and it is locked up in a vault. So if you want to make a deal and unlock it, and while you're unlocking it, unlock a whole bunch of extra bonuses, then use this link, magneticmemorymethod.com/YT Chinese, and you will receive information about all these bonuses, and it's going to be absolutely fantastic. So I hope you like this video. If you'd like to receive more, just make sure you hit that subscribe button and the little bell, and hit the like button as well, so that we know you're engaged and we can continue making this content for you. And we really appreciate that. And I can't wait to see you inside of this amazing training and welcome you into the bonus training that I have for you. So that's magneticmemorymethod.com/YT Chinese. Thanks for watching, and until we speak again, keep yourself magnetic.